Ay, 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 ay.
So this was at a rehearsal, I think it was my sophomore year. Yes, it was my sophomore year. Basically, we hadn't gotten a chance for a water break in quite a while, and I was a little bit out of it. And all of a sudden, we got a chance to break from the set and go get some water. And I was completely unaware of everything, like all of my surroundings at that point. I was completely dazed. I was just going straight for the water. And I accidentally stepped square on Romani's flute, and I don't know what happened. I was too scared to find out, so I just got out of there and got my water.
Listen, there was a ROTC comp, and then like we were like selling food or whatever, and then Miss Moore kept telling me to go back and forth to the band room. So every time I would go back and forth to the band room, I would eat Mr. Cypher's Doritos. And then, yeah. And then I also like went into Mr. Lakoff's office. I put on his Clark football jacket, and then I started pretending like I was Mr. Lakoff in the mirror. So I was saying things like, "Asen, you want to go to Carnegie?" And like, things like that.
So it seems like every year someone has something to say about Lakoff's truck.
It broke the tail light cover of Lakoff's trailer.
But no, I never scratched your truck or anything.
So I'll say it this time. Last year we had a whole snow day, and during first and third period it was like snowing the whole time. By lunch it like cleared up, and junior year we used to like take a route outside to get to our classes. So we went outside and the snow mostly cleared up, except there was a whole pile of snow in Lakoff's truck. So we kind of just climbed up on it and had a snowball fight on it. I don't think we did any damage to it, but yeah.
Okay, so last summer there was this one day that me and Sophia and Caitlin and Sam was there too. We went to Wet n Wild because I worked there and I got them free tickets. I technically stole them, but that's not important. Oh, and then it was really cold, so we didn't ride a lot of rides. And then we went into the bathroom and like hotboxed it, but we didn't really hotbox it. It was just like, there's like showers in there where you can rinse off the chlorine and stuff, and they're really hot, so like the steam was filling up the bathroom. And then, passed out. Yeah, Caitlin almost passed out.
One thing that I guess did happen this year was I was in the stands at, tournament on the turf just chilling, and I saw a bee go into a soda can, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I flipped the soda can and it got trapped in there. And it was just on the stands, and it was really mad. So I'm assuming somebody moved it later on, and they probably got stung by it. So that kind of sucks. Yeah, that's how Isaiah broke his knee.
Everybody thinks that like I broke my knee or something because of a bee, but that's actually not what happened. No. What actually happened was that, okay, so I was chilling outside. I mean, there was a bee involved, but honestly, it was, I would try to do some Matrix kind of stuff to impress Jessica. And it backfired, and I ended up dislocating my knee. I mean, I guess it worked a year later, but then
tried it.
She left me for Yvonne, so yeah.
Okay, so this happened the night of the senior lock-in, which was also emo day. I went home and I came back because I had to change clothes, and when I came back, Bella and Sophia told me that we could stay in the band room because like someone left them to close the door, but they didn't want to go like into the actual thing, so they just wanted to stay there. And then the whole plan was to stay in the band room like throughout the whole night, like until senior sunset. We went to Lakoff's office, we looked some stuff, and we just opened cabinets and stuff. And then we went to the computer.
I think we were looking for something, but we were going through the cabinets.
What's it called? The computer thing, where the computer.
Oh, the projector. No, the server room. We went to the server room.
We went to the server room. We like saw everything in there. We
saw
took some
Mr. Lakehoff.
photos.
Yeah, we saw Mr. Lakehoff's blazers and stuff. So we tried them on, of course.
I stole some chocolate bars from Mr. Marquis' fridge. Sorry for that.
You did, bro? Oh, I didn't even know that.
Okay, so later on, Kevin left, and it was just Bella and I.
Yeah,
left
because he was
in the
lame.
band
He was
room.
tired, so he went home. And like originally, the plan was to go into the senior lock-in, but then we were. I turned to Sophia. I was like, "What if we just like stayed the whole night?"
We stayed in the band room all night, basically, and someone bought us energy drinks. Yay big.
First time I'd ever had an energy drink.
Check over the soccer game.
Well, I'm getting there. Hold on. First, we built like a little bed out of the dirty clothes.
Okay, so I know it sounds gross, but what we took the dirty rehearsal shirts because it was the night of a rehearsal. So we took the dirty rehearsal shirts and some chairs and we laid them down on the ground and then put the rehearsal shirts over it to make like a little couch. And then we took the few rehearsal shirts that weren't worn and put them over the top so it was like kind of clean, but it still smelled pretty gross. And then we made like a whole little couch thing so we could watch movies off the projector screen.
Yeah, we watched Cars.
We couldn't find the movies at first.
Yeah.
But then we found the movies and we watched Cars and Grease.
Well, we didn't watch Grease. We like watched half.
We
of
tried
it.
watching Grease.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Because
Bella sang one of the Grease theme song in Lakehoff's jacket.
Oh, in Lakehoff's jacket, yeah. And then we thought we heard somebody like try to open the door.
No, someone did try to open the door.
Before that though,
No,
there
but
was a.
I know someone did try to open.
Oh,
it.
so yeah, somebody did try to open the door, and then we ran into the server room to hide, and like we actually got into the little closet things to hide from whoever was coming in.
Yeah, and then we went back out. We started watching Grease. 30 minutes later, we heard the door unlocking.
We heard somebody with the keys like go in. They didn't even try the door first. They just like brought the keys in. And before that, Sophia and I were like, okay, if somebody else does try to come into this room, like we got to have an exit strategy because we can't get caught in here. We're goody two shoes. Not gonna do that. So our strategy was if somebody were to try to open the door, we were gonna go into the percussion room because it locks from the outside or from the inside.
Outside.
Basically, you can go in and come out, but if you go in there and shut the door, nobody can get in. So that was our plan. And when we heard this person come to the door with the keys, we got up and ran. I left my phone. I left all of the chips and stuff. The movie was still playing. We had no time to waste. We had to get in. Oh, Sophia grabbed the blanket, which was so good because it was freezing in that room and we had to stay in there for a while.
Yeah.
We got to Sophia's car and managed. Oh yeah, we're getting donuts now. So anyway, we're getting donuts now.
Listening to Green Day.
We're listening to Green Day.
Jesus of Suburbia. Yeah.
Life is better, less stress, and we didn't get expelled. So
We're getting donuts.
I know, like, come on,
It was like in a
not that bad.
room.
It was, yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
All right, see you later. Peace.
Hey guys, it's Kamakana, and today we're back at it again with another confession telling all our bad things that we did. So basically, so I remember now. Freshman year at Tournament on the Turf, we were in the cafeteria doing our warm-up because that's where we do it on Tournament on the Turf. And back then in our show we had a saxophone and a bass clarinet, and I was holding both of them at the same time, and I dropped my bass clarinet and it like straight up like the mouthpiece like hit the ground like this, and the mouthpiece just like exploded. And then like everyone was like looking at each other and they're like, and then like we were like, what do we do? But luckily Brandon, my senior buddy, was like, yo, I got you. And he had another bass clarinet mouthpiece. So I have the broken one at home. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for, but Brandon is the homie, basically.
So last year during Regional Honor Band, for the day of the concert, we all met up at the McDonald's on the corner of Sunrise Mountain. And we ordered our food and sat down, and Dominic, Alana, and Jair decided they wanted to go in the play place. Like, we were the only ones in the McDonald's, no one else was there except the staff. So they went in, while Nancy and I sat at the table waiting for all of their food. So we got the food, and a worker notices that they're in the play place. So she goes over and yells, "Hey, you're not supposed to be there." And they didn't hear. So they're still playing in the play place, and the worker has to come and get them out and pretty much kicked them out of it. So they got kicked out, we ate our food, and left as soon as we could to stay away from that McDonald's.
Hey guys, Jared here. For my senior confessionals, I remember back in freshman year where I was dared to snort a peanut, and I did. I crushed it, slammed it, obliterated it, and snorted it through my nose. Except it got caught inside, so my mucus started flowing out like a waterfall. And I needed to blow my nose, but I didn't have tissue, so I used sheet music. I feel bad for the Stars and Stripes forever.
Also, sophomore year at Sam Boyd Stadium, I had, Romani needed to use my Shaco, so I was like, what am I supposed to use? No, it wasn't Romani, it was Mia. And so she had to use my Shaco, so I was like, I'm just gonna not have a Shaco. And then, so I took Romani's by accident, because I didn't know it was his, it fit my head. I was like, let's go. So I performed with Romani's Shaco on. Apparently Romani had a whole aneurysm trying to find his Shaco before we performed. And I caused havoc amongst the entire flute section. So, yeah, sorry Romani, not sorry.
So hey guys, Night here, aka the Night series, aka the Night secrets for these secret confessions. Yes. So I broke a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff. If something was broken, it's probably because of something I did. And if you don't know, we have mutes, the things that we put in our horns, and they have a little ring at the top of it. So Jeremy stuck his finger in there. Me and Jeremy took turns sticking our finger in the mute, and then Jeremy pulled out his hand, and then the ring part came out, and we were just panicking so bad. You know, this was my freshman year, not freshman, sophomore, and so we just put the metal thing on the ground, put the mute on top of it, and just started pounding it into the ground to force the little metal part back in. So if you know that one mute that has that jingles, if you're in jazz or any or trombone, you know that mute that jingles. Yeah, that's me and Jeremy's fault. Secret confessional number 2. So I have friends at various other locations. One of my friends at Desert Oasis, I didn't see him for an entire year. So I went up to him. I came and I hugged him. And then, you know, we talked, we caught up. I got carried away. I got carried away. So I have to start over. Okay. Secret confessional number 2. So I used to have a problem. If you're on a date with someone, always check the trunk. Always. The apple juice. Apple juice. Apple juice.
I only got 2 things to say. One, at Sunrise Mountain for a color guard competition, I accidentally walked into the girls' bathroom. What? You know what?
I broke my old rifle, but I did take it home and repair it, so that's okay. And another thing is, I would always ask to print out my homework, not because I didn't have a printer at home, but because I would always finish my assignment probably the period before band. So I would always ask to print it so I could have my assignments ready for Gov.
Okay, hey everyone, John here. For my confessionals, I would like to say during freshman year, it was intermediate band, right? And one day Miss Levinsky was just there, and we had to take a test based on what we were playing at the time. And well, when it was my time to do a test, I didn't know what I was doing. So in there was her laptop with all the recordings, because we were recording through her laptop, and I didn't know how to work it. And what I basically did was I just looked at all the recordings, I tried to record, and then I stopped because I didn't like it. And then I looked at it and I wanted to delete it because it wasn't too good. And in that process, I deleted the whole clarinet section's videos as for a test.
Hey, the people who made high school so awesome. You know, I didn't really do much except the usual destruction of property, rude gestures, looking through Lakoff's receipts, grand larceny, things of that nature. But there was one story in particular that comes to mind that kind of set the tone for all of high school, and it happened freshman year during marching season, where I was standing by the band room door that goes out to the parking lot, and I heard like footsteps coming, and I was like, I want to be nice and open the door, except I'm a weirdo, so I was like, ah! And I like totally kicked the big handle thing off the door entirely. And I remember David Lee, who's a senior at that time, you know, like, are you gonna tell Lakoff or am I? And I kind of walked up to him and I was like, the door broke. And he was really nice about it. And he was like, well, that's fine. We got duct tape and such. And it helped me feel really comfortable being myself. And I had an amazing 4 years. And thank you guys.
Yeah, and then also junior year, I had it was like one rehearsal. I don't know, the entire baritone section was like, oh my God, it stinks over here. Oh my God, what's that smell? I had crapped my pants. And yeah, and then what? And then so before rehearsal, I realized I had like actual crap in my pants. So I went into the bathroom, I cleaned myself up, I shoved my underwear in like a 7-Eleven bag, and then like I shoved it like in my backpack and in my locker for the rest of rehearsal, then I took it home.
I've never memorized any of the show music. From freshman year to senior year, I have not memorized a single like actual whole verse or phrase or whatever. Sorry.
For the second one, it was also freshman year. I'd be practicing my roll step after a warm up, and I was like, yeah, roll step. And then there was like, I didn't look at the ground, and there was like 3 flutes perfectly lined up, and my foot went rah, and I stepped on like 3 flutes. I don't know whose flutes those were, but I'm really sorry. But like, that's your fault for like putting it on the turf.
So another thing I have to confess is how, when I was in symphonic band as a clarinet my freshman year, the senior next to me, Prince, he's long gone, and I just wanted to say that when we were in class, we would always play Rhapsody in Blue, the Gliss, all throughout class period, just to purely piss Miss Levinsky off. Playing that Gliss, Rhapsody in Blue's Gliss, it was an everyday warm-up for the whole year during class, and it was my favorite warm-up, and not the warm-ups in the blue book, like 1E, like Elephant.
And then the second thing is, for this year, during marching band, while we were doing the final movement, I turned with my flag and I accidentally knocked down like Caitlin's trombone in the front, and a judge totally saw that. But you know what? It's okay.
Okay, freshman year, I dropped the bell set on the concrete. I thought I broke it. And then this year, I dropped the wooden clarinet on the stage. All of the pieces fell all over the place.
I just wanted to say that I also drove my wooden clarinet during honor band. It was really embarrassing because the director just looked at me.
Yeah, that's it.
So, I have a friend at Desert Oasis, and occasionally I see him during marching comps. So my junior year, I went and I hugged this guy. I hadn't seen him for a while, so you know, when you see old friend, you hug him. We caught up. I got carried away with the time, and then all of a sudden it was packing up time, and you know, it's time to go home. So I turned around to go get my shako, my hat box, and it's not there. And then I turn and I look around searching for it, and then it turns out Desert Oasis, the little school area I was at, had the same shako box. So I panicked. My immediate assumption. So I went to all 4 Desert Oasis buses got in front of the bus and said, "Everybody, check if there's a Shako in your box." They all checked it, and it wasn't there. Bus after bus. Went into the next bus. "Hey, do you guys have a Shako?" "No." Next bus. "Hey, do you guys have a Shako?" "No." And so on and so forth. So when I got out, I was panicking. I was ready to face my death by the hands of Jeffrey Lakoff. But then, Mr. Geyer, the director there, he came up to me and he said, "Knight, you gotta be He said, "Knight, you gotta stop being such an idiot." And then from behind his arms, he took out my Shako, my half box, and my life was saved. And I will forever be in debt to the gracious act that Mr. Geyer has bestowed upon me.
So my freshman year, there was this one senior. His name was Joseph Rios, and so one day we were just on the field rehearsing, and then he looked at his chip bag, and it was empty. And then he started panicking. I was like, "John, I think I dropped the chips in my locker." And I was like, "Are you serious?" And so he had to use one of my chips, but he didn't give it back until the end of the year. So yeah, it's this chip right here. I was bag number 59. I don't know, I think he just kept forgetting to give it back to me. And I'm sorry, but Leo, I did the same thing to you, but instead you lost it. I just forgot to give it back.
So the very first concert last year, Mr. Seifert gave me the music for intermediate band like the day of the concert, and was like, "Oh yeah, we're also gonna have a rehearsal right after school until 3:30. So I had to apparently go practice with them right after school, which I didn't want to. So I'm walking over to my locker and Miss Moore calls me over and asks me to go get the laundry. She gives me keys and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'll do it." So I start heading out. I drag Alana and Skylar along with me so like new kids can figure out where the laundry is. And when we get there, the timer says there's still 30 minutes left before it finishes, which would pretty much be half the time Seifert wanted to practice. So we were like, "Yeah, let's just stay. We don't want to go practice." So we stayed there. We sat down and waited a bit and got pretty bored, so we started looking around. We found the soccer ball that we started kicking and then later tossing to each other. Missed a bunch of times, hit a couple things. Nothing actually broke though, so it's fine. And then we found some jump ropes and started messing around with everything using that. We found some of the paper cups that like the football kids use, but they were like waxed together because they were heated or something. And we also found some snow cone syrup. So we took the paper cones and pried them apart to get like one for each of us. And we poured some snow cone syrup in and just started drinking them. And by the time the laundry finished and we brought it back, intermediate band wasn't even set up, so we wasted no time and still had to practice with them.
If you're on a date with someone, always check the trunk. Always. And then when I was section leaders with Alex Peralta last year, we were doing the football. during the football show, we got yelled at because, I don't know, we had like 16 charts and new people kept coming, people kept getting switched, and we only had like 12 or like 8. And I was looking at Alex, I'm like, Alex, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Do you have it? No, I don't know I don't have the charts. So then Lakoff ripped it. Lakoff ripped us. Not even us, because I convinced Alex that he's the one who had it. So he just destroyed Alex, and I got away scot-free. And then I had those charts in my chip bag the whole time. So after the first day that I realized that I did have the chip charts, I thought I was too far in. So I just for like the next 2 weeks, Alex just kept getting yelled at, and I think, and I had the football charts the whole time.
So actually, I have a third one. So the third one was, it was also freshman year. I realized I did a lot of bad things freshman year. Freshman year, I didn't do my mitosis project for one of my biology classes. So I stayed up all night. I didn't even finish it. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go class. And then at that time, I didn't know where to go or where to hide. So I hid in the instrument room that's next to the guard room. And I was just chilling there, like behind a guitar case. And then at one point, Mr. Lakoff started checking the instruments there. And I was like, what is he doing? I realized like he was looking for an instrument, and I was behind this huge bass case that was blocking me, and I would peek out and see Mr. Lakoff just like looking through, and I was like, yo, I'm screwed at this point. I was like, yo, what do I do? I'm scared if I get caught. I have no cover-up story. So luckily he didn't catch me, but that day I had jazz band. So I had to get out of that room without Mr. Lakoff seeing me come out of that room, because he was just in there. So I had to do some 007 type stuff. It ended up working out. I was late to jazz band, and I think Mr. Marquis got mad at me. So.
My senior year, my freshman year, I was very fortunate enough to be part of the Sizzle Trumpet Quintet with Curtin McGahan, Morgan Nebeker, Angel, and Ben. So yeah, that was a really great experience for me, and I've always wanted to recreate that. And this year we have all.
Okay, so I don't really have anything to confess because I am a good child. But I guess my freshman year when I played bass and jazz, I slept during rehearsal sometimes. I don't know. That's it.
Okay, so ever since freshman year, I've kept a can of beans in my locker, and they were originally supposed to be as like rations for whenever there's like hard lockdown that would last multiple hours. And then as the years went on, I just went like, oh, they're just my good low charms in my locker. So I never really touched them or ate them. So in the locker, there is a bunch of stuff, and because the only way you can access this is if the locker is.
So during the flag football game during winter, I decided to
Forward march. So I have another breaking something story. So one time after all state auditions, me and Alex Peralta showed up late to a football game. and you know I was running late, so I didn't want to get Jeff. So I just took some random trombone off of the top of the lockers. And so during this football game, I just completely ripped off the water key. The water key or spit valve or whatever just came off. It just flew off, and I just sort of shoved it back in there. And then after the game, quickly I ran to the band room, so I was the first one there. Shoved the trombone back in the case and then put it back on the locker.
Senior confession. Freshman year, I ripped a silk and blinked it on someone else. We didn't end up using the silk, so that's okay. Sophomore year, they were closing up the band room, and it was Miss Markey checking. He checked the guard room twice, but I was hiding in the back behind the rack because, you know, if you didn't find me sleeping in there after school, I was like spinning, I guess. Junior year, we had corn on the cob left over from when we got food, so I put it in my purse, and like halfway through the concert I just took it out and just started munching on it. We got some stares, but you know, I mean, what can you do? Then senior year, I was playing with one of the swords that we have in the guard room. I hit the ceiling and it kind of shifted, so I just kind of poked it back into place. And yeah, boy, that's it.
Like over summer at drum major camp, I had Julio asked me to, hey, you want to use a Q-tip? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I put it in my ear, and then like I couldn't hear anymore. And I was like, what the, what? And me and Julio, like we were freaking out, and we had to tell the camp counselors. We thought we had cotton stuck in our ear. I mean, it's stuck in my ear. So like while everyone was at camp, I actually got sent to the hospital. And turns out I just had a bunch of earwax pushed into my ear. Okay, but the fact that I had to go to the hospital, and I also never told Lakoff. So Lakoff was golfing the entire time I was in the hospital at drum major. Yeah.
All right, so I haven't really done anything like notable, I guess, that no one already knows about. But I guess I was just gonna confess that I just really appreciate everybody that's been in my life in band. You know, like I joined band on accident 8th grade year, and I was like, bro, what is band? I don't even know. What is this trombone thingy that I'm sliding on? But then I didn't realize that would be the gateway to meeting so many amazing people and just like building an identity throughout high school as being like the dorky band kid who also plays sports and is just cool with everybody. So I just really appreciate everybody who's been there and just basically helped me shape who I am. And yeah, that's it.
I knew